Hello everyone, our team will present Google Product Sales Analysis. Before moving to the analysis, I'd like to briefly introduce our dataset. Our dataset comes from Kaggle and is called Online Shopping EDA. It is a transaction-level dataset from an online retail platform, where each row represents a single customer purchase. The dataset contains three main types of information. First, we have customer-related variables, such as customer ID, gender, and customer loyalty status. Second, the dataset includes product and order information, including product category, quantity purchased, and total sales value. Third, we also have time and location variables, which make it possible to examine when and where purchases occur. So this dataset provides a comprehensive view of customer behavior, and it supports analysis from customer composition, purchasing patterns, and sales trends.
Okay, first we're seeing the geographic distribution of our cells, and among them we have five states. They're California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and District of Columbia. And among them, California and Illinois contributes the most to cells. And we are examining the relationship with the cells versus the order quantity. In this line chart, we can see that there are two peaks of sales in both March and August relatively, but there is a big gap between sales and order quantity in quarter four. So in April, the peak may be driven by the seasonal demand. For example, some companies usually begin to buy their office goods in bulk, or they may start another project at the start of quarter two. Therefore, the sales quantity of office goods increases. And in August, the peak is just like the April one. And one intuitive reason can be that August holds a lot of back to school promotions and summer sales. Therefore, the office goods sales quantity stands out one more time. And from September to December, the total order quantity decreases. However, over the same period, the total sales actually rose a lot. So what does this mean? The customers are buying fewer units, but they're actually spending more money per unit. So we notice that the office products contribute a large share of the total quantity. However, they have a very lower sales price per unit. And the office product order quantity goes down, maybe because it is the holiday season, so people are less driven to purchase the products. And the total sales went up in quarter four because the order quantity for the Nest product, which has the highest sales price, they went up. And that may be because people are very likely to purchase them as holiday gifts. And this explains why there's an increase in overall sales, despite there's the lower total units sold in quarter four. Next, we're doing the customer and loyalty analysis across gender groups. So from the gender distribution of customer pie chart on the top left corner, we observe that we have a female-heavy customer base in which the female group accounts for nearly two-thirds of the total customers. And from the customer loyalty distribution by gender pie chart on the bottom left corner, we observe that both male and female customers are heavily concentrated in the loyal group, but the female customers make up a much larger share of the loyal group. And also from the customer loyalty composition by product category and gender pie chart on the right, the gender composition is relatively stable across almost all categories, but the bags category stands out the most, which kind of makes sense because bag is a very female-dominated category. Therefore, we can conclude that the dominant loyal female shoppers suggest a stronger long-term engagement, and that actually plays an important role, especially in those female-oriented product categories, such as bags.
And according to our observations for the data weekly, and the order quantity varies significantly across the week, with the very clear low end on the Monday and Tuesday, and a peak toward the end of the week. And it shows a very clear weekly cycle. So we had the question, why does this pattern occur? We think it might be because towards the end of the week, the customers are likely to check and make the purchases for their inventories in case the office goods don't run out. And those at the beginning of the week, like the Monday and Tuesday, they are less likely to purchase any goods because they should be receiving the orders from the last week. And by contrast, the sales shows a clear weekly pattern as well, with the lower sales at the beginning of the week and the higher sales toward the end of the week. And the pattern matches the one in order the quantity perfectly, and which we think that shows a consistent purchasing behavior among the customers.
Finally, we're doing the customer analysis by their spending tiers. So we manually divide the customers into four groups based on their spending throughout the year. And there are casual, core, VIP, and VVIP. And according to the rounded bar chart, the customer base has a pyramid-shaped distribution with a large portion of low to mid spending customers and a small group of high-value customers, which makes sense because for customers moving from casual or core to VIP or even VVIP requires a lot of purchases over time, and that limit the size of the high spending group. And also from our products, since we have many Google products such as the office goods and accessories, and those have very low unit prices. So the customers are very likely to get into the casual or core group because of their low sales. And in terms of business strategies, we should try to convert the customers into VIP tiers and keep those who are already in the VIP and VVIP tiers at the same time, and by targeted promotions or even some like personalized offers, for example. And finally, here are the key takeaways. So the first one is sales and order quantity. They do not peak for the same reasons. As mentioned, the office goods contribute heavily to the total order quantity, but they have a very low revenue. And in contrast, the Nest Home products with the higher unit prices, they're doing very good on the sales side, especially during the holiday season. And the third one is the third one, the second one is the customer base is female heavy with strong loyalty. The female customers account for nearly two-thirds of the customer base, and the loyalty patterns are very consistent across most of the product categories. Uh, but the bags one stands out because it is a very female-dominated category. And the third one is the clear weekly purchasing cycle. So the order quantity and the sales are lowest on Monday and Tuesday, and they peak towards the end of the week, like Friday. And we think they might reflect some purchasing behavior and driven like by the inventory. And lastly, the customer spending tiers, they form a pyramid structure. Most of the customers, they fall into casual and core tiers, and while VIP and VVIP customers are fewer, and that actually makes sense because of the low price of the office goods and the accessories, and that leads to a low expenditure on among those like for those like casual and core customers. And that's our presentation. Thank you.